I am Zane Lamprey. This is the Control Z podcast, where our guests get an opportunity to go back in time and decide if they would give their younger self advice to maybe go in a different direction. The issue is that the more we do this, the more I realize that the guests we have made some pretty good decisions to end up where they are. You know what I mean? So, and then one of the podcasts that we just recorded that'll come out in a few weeks was with Nitro from American Gladiators. And the thing is like, he was kind of going back and being like, hey, good job doing this, good job doing this. He did have some, I call them regrets or things that he would change, which I thought those were pretty interesting. But I'm going to give a little, a spoiler. One of the things that he said he would go back and do was...
do steroids
again. Yeah, exactly.
It was a very funny, like, oh, you know, we're the hypothetical, we're giving you an out, and he's like, no, we'll keep it in.
Yeah. Like I would definitely go back on my 18th birthday and say, yup, you're doing the right thing. Take these steroids, which is like, you know, as in the moment, I'm like, this is great because our audience are kind of adults and whatever, but like, if there's a kid listening, maybe he's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll go in that direction.
Nitro said it was okay, so why not?
Yeah, but Nitro, he's also 60, and he had a heart attack when he was 50. So, like, I don't, you know, we'll
weigh
see.
that how you will.
Yeah, exactly. Decide what has what to do with whatever. But I did read an article today. It was in the New York Times. It was talking about the fact that steroids have become way more commonplace in the last maybe 10 years. And if that has something to do with social media, because people are using their physiques to gain notoriety and become influencers and turn that into whatever it is. So it's interesting to think about. I think everything in moderation, but anyway, that's a great interview that you'll be able to listen to in a few weeks. Today, in this episode, we sit down with Deep Roy. And you might not know the name Deep Roy, but if you see his face, the moment you see his face, you'll know who he is. I think he's best known as an Oompa Loompa. That was the Johnny Depp.
Yeah, the most recent Charlie and the Chocolate Factory that they put out.
Right, but not the most recent is Hugh Grant.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So this was the one before, which probably was about 15 years ago.
Who's keeping up with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory this
much? He started a while ago. He was in Dark Crystal. He was in Spinal Tap. He's done a lot of like stunt performer where he was like a stand-in for Yoda, for example.
I had just watched Flash Gordon right before we recorded
That's
this and was like, oh, there he
is. Deep Roy. He's everywhere.
Yeah.
And you won't believe, by the way, you will not believe his age. Try to guess his age when you see or even listen to him. If you're watching this on YouTube or if you're listening to it through Spotify or Apple, whatever, that kind of thing. You know, all those various places where you can catch our show. But I think the internet was even wrong about it.
I think so.
I think we were all wrong about it. Like I think that Nick thought he was like in his 50s. I'm like, I think it might be 60s, but anyway, he's not. He's one of the rare actors to be involved in Star Wars and Star Trek.
Yeah, the list is really tiny.
It's really short.
And he's in Doctor Who as well. I think he's also in that like Venn diagram of a few actors that have been in all those universes.
That'd be the nerd triangle. And we met a few weeks back when he came to a few weeks before we recorded this interview. And so what we do is we record the interviews when I'm in town. I'm on the road pretty much half the year. When I'm in town, we try to bank a bunch of these interviews, and then we record these intros with Tyler and myself. Tyler Ross. Tyler Tells Jokes. Is that your Instagram?
It is.
Okay.
Thank you.
At Tyler Tells Jokes.
It's my Venmo too. So.
Is your Venmo?
Yeah, you always got to make sure people know.
Hey,
just in case.
Send him some money as a joke. Let's
Don't
see how
request
funny
it for me.
That's fine. That's not. People will do it just to be funny. Tyler Tells Jokes. Send him $69. Wouldn't that be the funniest amount to send him?
Or $4.20, you know, if you're a little cheaper.
Or 69 cents. And so, yes, we met Deep Roy doing one of my stand-up shows right before I recorded my third special.
Yeah, at Lawless Brewing.
At Lawless Brewing. Right before, I shot my third Amazon special at the brewery, which that'll come out. I think my next one comes out in about 30 days. My second special, Ski Patrol. And then Medium Club, which is what I was warming up at Lawless of an audience of about 50 to 60 people before I recorded my special down in Anaheim. So my friends brought him. He was cool as shit. He actually he didn't interrupt the show, but when I started talking to him, the things he said were pretty funny, and he might have gotten bigger laughs than me, so I wasn't happy about that. But one of the things just to kind of talk about is right now is like, I'm not saying my health per se. It's kind of that's kind of an ambiguous way to put it, but like
that may sound so doom and gloom.
I know,
right off. Just
I know
say the word "my health." The phrase,
we need to take a break and talk about my health.
Yeah.
Can you know what? I need to pick up this potato. Hi, Tito, come here. Hi. I know. Get over here.
Oh,
Get over here. Oh, potato. People met Potato when he was just a little spud, a little baby spud. Now he's a big giant fluffy potato. So yes, I probably have walking pneumonia right now. And I just kind of like, I don't think I got as much sleep as I should have in the last, like, I'm going to say 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. It started when came off of a run, I think I had 36 hours at home. And then I turned around and went to New York and then, and did the Zane crawl, which is all day Friday, all day Saturday, and then a brunch, an awards brunch on Sunday.
And a travel day, yeah.
And then the travel days and all that kind of stuff. And by the way, I was going to say, like, I wasn't prepared for how much fun it was going to be. I don't know if that's the right statement, but maybe I wasn't prepared for how cool everyone was going to be.
Because how long has it been since you've done a crawl before this New York one? A few years, right?
I would say, I mean, when Mel and I were dating, not even when we were married, and we've been married for 12 and a half years.
So it's been that long?
Uh-huh.
Well, there
you know what the thing is? I wasn't sure if I had the energy to pull them off. and the
answer, you barely did.
And to be honest with you, I barely did. And then I came home for a quick reset.
And just really quick, the New York crawl was a blast. Like, we had a great little, like, pretty solid crew.
Yeah.
All over the country. Some solo people showed up. A couple, like...
Yeah, I'd say it was couples, some people on their own, some alumni, and just had such a fun time.
Yeah.
And I remember just like at the end, we're like, I think we nailed it. And I would say a testament to that would be when we, I'll cover that in a second. Because then came home, reset, and then we went off less than 2 weeks later, and did the New Orleans crawl. And that was wild. Mm-hmm. I think the takeaway from that, and this is a little bit behind the scenes, everyone had an amazing time. I would say that the people, the support people, the people that work in the industry and that kind of thing, were exceedingly nicer in New York City than they were in New Orleans.
I was shocked about that as well. Yeah, it was kind of like a weird, like, we're not being tourists, but I know how they're so used to dealing with like annoying tourists. But we were like a collective, like, well-oiled machine, like, managing through. And I think we got treated like we were just like, oh, what's going on?
Well, I think here's the thing about New York. Someone comes into a bar in New York. Like, we went to, what was that Jamaican restaurant? Kingston Hall. Mm-hmm. So that was like a mix of locals and tourists. I think everything was. Veselka, the Ukrainian restaurant, like everything was a mix of locals and tourists. And so it's almost like, I'm not saying this is why they would do it. Or Cuba, for example, that was one of the best meals.
Oh, that was incredible.
And so like, it's just a mix of locals and tourists. And so as a server, you almost don't know who you're talking to. Not that you'd be meaner to like a tourist, but if it's a local, they might come back and whatever. I mean, our server at Cuba started following me and sent me the nicest message about how nice everyone was. Like, that's great. That's pretty. I didn't tell you that.
No,
and that's pretty rare. Mm-hmm. Whereas in the French Quarter, which is where we stuck for the New Orleans crawl, it was pretty much 100% tourists.
Yeah,
and I think the people in the industry, the hospitality industry, are just kind of done. You know what I mean? They're just like over it, you know, like there's niceness, but you know, the other thing too, and this isn't like calling anybody out, but like they were kind of not that great until you showed them the money, and then they're like, oh, come on in. You're just like, oh, was that what we needed? Is that whatever? But like, so anyway, I get it. At the end of that crawl, so at the end of that crawl, I was like, look, these were amazing. We're doing these again. I might be spent, but I'm having the time of my life, and I'm not going to like slow down for any reason, you know? And so we added a Chicago crawl, which is on
September 20th.
20th through 22nd.
Yep.
And then Key West, which is on November 15th through 17th.
Yep.
So we added those 2 crawls. Immediately, 2 people from New York got tickets to that, and 2 people from New Orleans got
I didn't know
tickets
that
to
either, yeah.
And so, I mean, that's a testament to us being like, oh, this was so much fun, we're going to do it again.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, so that's it. So,
and I think in both those places, like, if you were to just randomly go, you might be a little overwhelmed of like, oh, where should I go? I think, like, what our goal was with those was to curate, like, a really good 2 days of, like, experiencing a bunch of different stuff. And I think we nailed it. So if you're teetering, like, if you've never been to either of those places or you have, like, let us take the wheel a little bit.
Yeah, like if you, like one of the things we did in New York, and it's very specific to New York, was that we basically rented out a comedy club for an hour, got everybody food, drinks. Like the food and the drinks are on us, the entertainment is on us, the experiences are on us. You get yourself there, you pick your whatever hotel you want, and then come and put your faith in us and you'll be happy. And so one of the things was we gave people an opportunity to get up on stage at a comedy club. There were people that would like rather chop off their finger than do it. But maybe after a few drinks, they're like, I'm gonna do it. I'm like, I will.
And the energy of the group, like, you know,
supportive.
If you're like, oh, I'm just a bunch of strangers hanging out, now I have to tell a joke in front of them. Yikes. But like a few stops in, we get to know each other and we're a collective group. You know, we're really a tribe together.
Yeah. And it was like, for one person, I was like, here's the joke. Go say this. And they're like, okay. And they did it. And they're like, I did it. I told the joke. Yeah, you did.
Another person you had, like, we worked on stuff with them walking up, and he gets to say to us, I'm not even going to tell that. I'm going to tell something else. It was like, that's so cool. Like, you had enough confidence to go and tell it.
And by the way, that was Jared. Okay. And so Jared just came to one of the stand-up shows and brought me this.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. This is this megalodon tooth that he goes diving for. I got one for me, and I got one for my sister-in-law. And these are
amazing.
These are like 5-inch teeth that he goes diving for, and he invited me on a dive. I have to get certified because it's a deep water dive, and I'm not certified for it. But next year, I'm going to build a tour around it and go diving, and then I can replace this one with one that's my own. Isn't that amazing?
That's awesome.
So, and then maybe I didn't even tell you. So at the show in Bensalem, Jared from the Crawl was there, as well as Ross and Stephanie.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was like
that's
a mini
awesome.
reunion. I was like, as I was talking to them, Jared's in the back. He's like, wait, is that Ross and Stephanie? So it was cool. Like, I tell people at the beginning of those crawls, I say, look, you guys are strangers. You will leave here as family. And it's exactly what happened. And
someone from the New Orleans one was mailing something from the story's loose, but someone mailed someone something else, and I get an email that's like, hey, who was from Maryland? We talked about stuff, and they actually mailed it to me. So now I'm like trying to figure out who it was. So
okay,
I mean, that's how close people were getting. They're mailing stuff.
Yeah,
we're getting the post office involved. That's how deep it is.
That's right. And so look, then we decided to add 2 more, and you did a fantastic job of like executing this thing. You know, you and I were both, you know, at 100% energy both days, and left it all out there, and it was great. And again, that's why I was like, okay.
And I'm excited. Chicago, I lived there for the past 10 years. I'm excited to like pick really great, like what I feel like are real Chicago things, and Key West.
I know Key West really well. I have a lot of friends. We've already talked to friends. They're like, we're going to do this. We're going to close down for you. We're going to do all these special things. And we have a few like surprises. Of course, there's surprises. There's going to be the places you know, but we'll do them in a different way than you would expect, I think.
I think that's perfect.
And then I have to announce I am doing stand-up. I'm always on the road, so go to ZaneLamprey.com for tickets, but I'm going to tell you where I am starting June 20th. Eau Claire, Wisconsin, Indianola, Iowa, Ann Kenny, Iowa, Omaha, Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska, Sioux Falls.
How you said Ankeny?
How do you say it?
Ankeny.
How do you say it?
I think it's Ankeny, Nebraska.
What did I say? Ann Kenny?
Yeah.
Well, what's that show?
Or maybe I'm thinking of Ankeny, Iowa. Anyway, you do your plugs.
No, it is. Wait, it is Ann Kenny, Iowa.
Okay.
You been there?
I'm aware of it.
Okay, well, I'm going there. I'll tell you about it when I go. Yeah. Alexandria, Minnesota, Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, Big Lake, Minnesota, North Mankato, Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Moorhead, Minnesota, and Duluth, Minnesota. And then we're adding a few more. It was so funny. I just posted a video. if I find something interesting on my trip, I'm gonna like make like a quick little reel about it. That we internally call those Zane's World. These clip reels that I'm doing, and we went to Jersey Shore, Pennsylvania, which we're like, is this a mistake?
Yeah.
I remember calling up Trent. I'm like, Trent, you just booked Jersey Shore. Do you know how far that is away from?
It sounds like a prank.
Hershey?
Yeah.
It sounds like a prank.
Yeah.
And it kind of was. So if you watch my reels, you can learn about why it has that name. It was kind of a joke that became the town name. But as always, I'm having a great time on tour. I'm having an amazing time at the shows. We just wrapped up stand-up show number 386 at a brewery since we got out of COVID. Yeah, I got to stay at my mom's house for a little bit, which is fun.
That's great.
I remember the first time, I'll tell you something funny. So the first time we went there, I was like, look, guys, we're going to stay at my mom's house. It's my childhood house. She lives by herself. My dad passed away when I was 22 or something like that. And when he was my age, 52. And Nick's like, oh, okay, how many days? Like, he's kind of like, give me some pushback. I'm like, as many days as I'm saving a hotel, every night it's about $600 for hotel rooms, you know what I mean? So we go and stay there, and then it was my mom makes breakfast. She insists on it every morning, cooking food, putting out sandwiches and whatever. And then at the end, it was like, maybe we could stay here one more day. And then I come down the other day to and I can smell that they're making breakfast, and there's my mom and Nick playing Wordle together, and he looks outside. He's like, oh, looks like the bird feeder's empty. We're watching all the birds. And he's like, can I refill that? I was like, oh yeah, I'll show you where it is. He's like, well, can your mom show me? I'm like, sure. All right, bro, relax. So I think everyone had this nice little bond with my mom. She's pretty amazing. And we got to spend 5 days there. It also lets me, I'm sleeping in my childhood room.
Yeah.
It just kind of like makes me feel younger. It's this weird kind of thing. So yeah, so we got to stay at my mom's house. And I think everyone now looks forward to that every year. Just like you can look forward to this interview with my guest today, Deep Roy. Dude, all right, let's start with that. Because that was an awesome... All right, so we're going... Okay, so we'll start with this because I saw a clip, and I'm just going to play it inside of this podcast. I don't know if I'm allowed to, but the one that's on your reel, on your site.
Yeah.
Dude, was that the most fun role that you've done?
Yes, I think that was the fun. I had a lot of fun with Danny McBride, I mean, I'll explain to you how I got the job.
Yes, please.
And I will, are we recording?
We just started, yeah. We're doing it.
Okay.
This is happening.
All right, okay, so, oh man, what a surprise. I thought we just talking generally.
Yeah, we're just with microphones in our faces.
So, how that happened, that was in 2010. 2010.
Okay.
2010. So I had booked my seat to go to Hawaii.
Okay.
My mind was in Hawaii because I got a place in Honolulu.
For a vacation.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to take time off and I wanted to go to Hawaii.
Yeah.
I said, so my agent said to me, you got to audition. They want you to do audition. I said, well, I am not available. What happens if I get it? He said, then you cancel your flight. I said, okay. So I went to an audition and unprepared.
Because you didn't want it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My mind was,
Yeah.
it's mind. Mind is like,
Yeah.
Another audition,
Yeah.
So I went in there, and was doing the lines. So I skipped the whole page of dialogue. So the guy started laughing at me. I said, what the fuck are you laughing at? And he said to me, you skipped the whole page of dialogue. I said, so? He said, you want to start over again? I said, no, I'll fuck it up again. And he said to me, so what do you want to do? I said, what the fuck you wanted me to do? I said, what's the name of this show?
Yeah.
He said, Eastbound and Down. So I did this, fuck Eastbound and Down. I'm going to go to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And he said, what do you got to say? I said, what do you mean what I got to say? I said, another audition bites the dust.
Yeah.
So I walked off. Next day, my agent calls me. He said, you got the job. I said, I got the job, but they want you to do a Mexican accent. I said, I ain't going to do more fucking Mexican accent. Yeah. And he said, this is what it is going to be. Take it or leave it. He said, what if I said, I told I said, I don't give a hoot. They want me. This is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And Then he said, my agent said to me, so how much you want? I said, I want this, this, and that.
Yeah.
Plus, I had another job lined up. I said, I got to do that as well.
Uh-huh.
And Hawaii was just a vacation. I would have come back. I said, so, and he said to me, all right, okay. So we negotiated everything. And when I went to Puerto Rico, the first person I saw, Danny McBride. He said to me, you're fucking hilarious. You're so fucking funny, Will Ferrell said. He said all the executives, HBO executives were laughing their asses off.
At your audition tape.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he said, we were made up our mind. We never saw the others. I was the first one up.
Yeah, yeah.
So I said, wow, poor guys, the other guys. I felt bad.
Yeah.
I thought, man, this is how the auditions go about. He said, no, we... And then we started filming, and Danny said to me, we'll do as it's written, then we improvise.
Got it.
So we did, I improvised a lot. All I see was one camera on him, one on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I did so many takes because he was laughing all the time.
Yeah.
He didn't know what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So the funny thing happened was there's a background guy. So he's sitting there, and I poured the whole beer on him.
What's your fucking problem, man? Why are you giving me this freaking look?
He wants to start a fight, dude.
Shut the fuck up. Now what's your problem? Yeah, you want more? You want to drink beer?
He looked back and he got mad, and the camera guy was laughing so hard.
Yeah.
It was out of focus.
Yeah.
So I apologized to the wardrobe people. I said, Danny said that was fucking hilarious. He said that's what, so they changed his wardrobe and all that, and we did the second take. The guy started laughing at me. I said, tell him not to, he was Spanish. He said, tell him not to laugh when he looks back. Tell him look angry.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we didn't go, so what he did, he couldn't, do the same again.
Got it.
And we printed that. I mean, I did so many other takes as well. Another one was, I wear the mustache. He said to me, I'm going to shave your mustache. So I said to the wardrobe people, give me another mustache. So I put it in my pocket. He said, what do you want to do? I said, you'll see.
Yeah.
When the camera loads.
Yeah.
So camera loads, he said, listen, I'm going to shave your mustache off. I said, well, I always carry two with me.
That's good.
So that's Danny, and I had loads of fun. And
How many episodes did you do?
I did 7.
That's
the
great.
whole season,
Yeah.
second season, the
That's
whole
awesome.
second season. So it was 11:30 in the morning. We were filming, and we were at the bar. He said, let's have a tequila. I said, you're freaking crazy. He said, well, we'll start in the right path. I said, what kind of tequila are you going to give me, Danny? He said, the best. Only the best for you. I said, no, man, I don't want to freaking drink tequila.
So this is before you would go to work.
Yeah, no, we were filming. We were ready. The cameras are ready to roll. He said,
Okay,
let's have
yeah.
a shot of tequila. We're not filming.
Yeah.
I said, Danny, I can't do that. He said, no, man, it'll put us in a good mood.
Yeah.
I said, is that Jody was the director? Is he going to have? Jody said, no, I won't. And he said, 3 tequilas, one for me, one for the other side kick that I had, and one for me. So we drank that, and he said, roll the cameras. We started filming, and he says to me, this is the best sidekick I've ever had. He says to me, I said to Ben, my line was, I'm nobody's sidekick, bitch.
Yeah.
And he was laughing so hard. He said, can you cut the bitch out? But they still printed that.
Yeah. Oh, good.
So I had a lot of fun. That was the funniest show that I have done, and the cat is here.
Are you okay with cats?
Yeah, I am alright.
Okay,
I thought he was looking for the rat. Well, he said, you dirty rat.
Yeah.
so that was Eastbound Down.
That so that's a great example of. So in this podcast, we talk about things you would advice you would give your younger self.
Yeah.
We also like to talk about things that decisions that have turned out well. Like when you did that audition, you went in not giving a shit.
No.
And that's what they wanted. If you did really want this part, you probably would have gone in with different energy. You may have still gotten the part, but they would have maybe seen all the rest of the guys. But when you went in with this fuck you energy, that's what they were looking for. And they loved it.
Of course they did, because the funniest thing was they said to me, "You didn't even know the name of the show.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What's this show?" And when he
Yeah.
said Eastbound Down,
Like you'd never seen it before.
no, I've never seen
Yeah,
it, because they told me it was a big hit. I've
Yeah.
never seen. I haven't, and I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
And he said, "We loved it when you did this."
Yeah.
And fuck Eastbound and Down. We're
Yeah.
gonna go to Hawaii.
That's so good.
And which I was, my mind, like I said, and.
But I mean, like you say it, in a funny way, but like you also, sorry, airplane mode. You also knew what you were doing, right?
Yes.
You were having fun.
Of course I do, because
yeah.
no malicious intent at
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah.
I just want, and it's mind of a body.
Yeah.
Your mind says do this, and you got mind, you got subconscious mind. Actually, you got three minds.
Right.
You got mind, you got subconscious mind, and then you got
Then
that gut.
then
You know when you say
okay.
gut feeling?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's another,
Uh-huh.
So
So your gut was telling you just to be more irreverent. And just,
yes,
just to
that's
have
why.
fun
But
with it.
my gut was telling me go to fucking Hawaii, leave this fucking shit.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
And so that's once in a lifetime you do that.
Yeah.
You get it. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and it was good. And for me, yes, to work with Danny McBride.
Yeah.
I didn't know who he was.
Yeah. And
So-
what a great introduction to him.
Oh yes,
Because when you did that, you were joining him as an equal. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like he was saying, like, you're one of us. Come in. We're hanging out. We're equals. Not
Yeah,
like,
but another thing about Danny was, because we used to do split days,
Yeah.
and Danny used to say, "What are you doing after this?" We finished like 2 a.m., and he'll open up the bar. You sit and drink like 5 in the morning.
Uh-huh.
We used to go to
So that was real.
Yeah.
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 And he's such he loves his steaks and all that.
Yeah.
He says to me, "I love my meat." I said, "I bet you do."
I bet you.
So that was that was a great show to do, and to improvise, and and make people laugh.
What-
That was
What's the part? This is why I want to start to go back in time. Actually, this question, but then I really want to go back. But there's all these questions I want to ask you because you don't do a lot of podcasts.
no, I don't.
And so there are questions that are always on people's minds because people, when they see you, they think of one of your characters. And so Tyler, who's our producer, who you met, you and I met doing stand up. You came to one of my stand up shows a few days ago, and you were heckling me. You weren't really heckling me.
Well,
I was actually heckling you, and you were getting bigger laughs than me. And
I thought, listen, Zane, is he Zane or is he insane?
Yeah.
But then again, you were funny.
Yeah.
You were funny.
I appreciate that, and you said that, in the middle of my show, and I was like, that was a very nice compliment. You're like, hey, you're pretty fucking funny. I'm like, this is awesome. Yeah. And the cameras weren't rolling on it, but now they are, so we have that as evidence. But like, okay, so let's go back in time. No. Sorry, I'm all over the place. What is the role you get recognized for most? Is it Oompa Loompa?
Yes, Charlie
Okay.
and the Chocolate
Charlie and the
Factory.
Chocolate Factory.
And I said how that happened because I've done 4 movies with Tim Burton.
Got it.
And
Who, by the way, Tim Burton calls you the hardest working man in show business.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes. So how that happened was everyone was calling me to accept the part of Oompa Loompa.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know what it was, and I said, why doesn't Tim call me? And they said, because he's scared if I say no to him.
Yes. If
And
you
I was-
say no to him, it's over. Yeah.
I know, but
Yeah.
the thing is, I said, well, man, I just finished Big Eyes with him.
Uh-huh.
No, Big Fish.
Big Fish, uh-huh.
Big Fish,
So the Tim Burton ones are Big Fish, Charlie and Chuck.
Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes,
Planet
okay.
of the Apes when I first met him
Mm-hmm.
in 2001. Then came Big Fish.
Mm-hmm.
Then Charlie. And then I did a voiceover for Corpse Bride.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So those of he's a good friend.
Yeah.
I mean, I can talk to him like,
Yeah.
over drinks, and we all do that,
And so he called. So did he call you?
Yes, we
Okay.
got together, and it was March, no, it was April of 2003. And I was a bit late, and he said, where would you like to meet? I said, I'd like to meet in, he was staying at the Casa del Mar in Santa Monica.
Okay.
And I said, okay, let's meet at Viceroy,
Yeah.
which is across the street. He said he wants to get out of his hotel. He doesn't want to do so. So I was 2 minutes late. He was pacing up and down.
Okay.
And I said, hey, man. He said, sorry about this. He said, where would you like to sit? I said, let's go near the pool. So I took him to the pool, and he turns around to me. He said, looks like a movie set. I don't want to sit in the pool here, near the pool. He said, let's go. I said, how about the bar? He said, no, man. And we found a booth. It was Tuesday evening.
Okay.
And it was 2003. The place wasn't that busy, but people recognized him, So we sat, and the waiter came and all that. They were like, and he said, give us a time, please, so, which I did. And first thing he did was he took a photograph of me when I did Planet of the Apes
Okay.
with him. He said, that's my favorite photo. And he said, his son was born with Helena Bonham Carter. He hadn't seen him for a month. He said, I haven't seen I said, have you named him? He said, no. I said, why don't you call him Tim Burton Jr.? He said, I don't like my name. I said, okay, why don't you call him Richard Burton? He said, no, everybody call him Dick. I said, okay, how about James? He said, in the middle name has to be Ray. I said, how about James Ray Burton? You call him JR. He said, no, man. JR is my good friend. He was talking about Dallas. And I said, okay. I said, I got this son. I said, William Ray Burton. He said, I like that. So he named his son Billy Ray Burton. So that happened, and then things...
Wait, so he had a son that
Yeah.
was that he
he hasn't seen him for a month.
but it had been born already.
Yes.
But it didn't have a name?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's unique.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he named his son Billy Ray Burton.
Okay.
And then he said to me, he started showing me the photographs, because he's a great drawer. He showed me 4 pictures of Oompa Loompas. He's going to be playing 4 Oompa Loompas.
Okay.
I said, I got it. Okay. He said, but then again, if you get work, don't turn it down. Take it, because I don't like the script at the moment.
Oh, okay.
We have to redo everything.
Okay.
And plus, he said, I want Johnny, in it. And he said he hasn't spoken to him yet.
Okay.
He said, you're the first one.
Okay.
I said, okay, you got me, buddy.
Yeah. Why did he think that you would say no?
I don't know, that's Tim. I wouldn't say no, because, Tim is a very, one of the best directors that I've worked with. Because he doesn't do that many takes. And he knows what he wants. And the reason he said, why would I say no to him? Because I can't read his mind. I don't know why he was scared that I would say no to him.
Yeah.
I never asked him that. I never asked him.
Yeah.
But once everything got figured out, 4 turned into 7 Oompa Loompas. And they wanted to wear my mask on their faces, so they couldn't find people in proportion.
Okay.
So
Are there many?
no, not that many.
Okay.
And the movie has to be done in London.
Okay.
And I asked him, it has to be a SAG deal. He said, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that, he said to me. So he said, whatever you want, you got it. So, don't worry about that. I said, okay. So it turned out with 7 Oompa Loompas. They saw people in LA, auditions and all that, even in London. They couldn't find. So they brought in the kids.
Oh, okay.
They're all Indian kids,
Okay.
all of them.
Okay.
And prolific fantastic dancers.
Oh, great.
Because they were from drama school.
Okay. Oh, got it. Okay.
I looked at them dance, they put me to shame. I said, what the hell? Man, I was going, dude.
But wait, but they're wearing your mask.
No,
right?
they weren't. We were, you know, they showed me, they were rehearsing and
Okay.
all that, you know, and they haven't, you know. So they went home. Tim would never talk. He will only talk one-on-one with me.
Okay.
He would never talk in front of people.
Yeah.
So he takes me on the side, one-on-one. He said to me, what do you think? I said to him, it's not going to work. He said to me, why? I said, you got 4 hours to shoot with them. Then you got to send them to school. They wear my mask.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to look at the marks. It isn't going to work. The shot is going to get,
Yeah.
hello. And he said, now what? I said, I'll do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at me. He said, but I got to give you a camera test. I said, give me a camera test. Why? He said, I want to make sure you go 7 this way, 7 that way, with equal distance.
Mm-hmm.
I said, why equal distance? He said to me, Oompa Loompas are like a regiment.
Okay.
They do things precise,
Mm-hmm.
no comedy.
Yeah. Got it.
And I said, okay. So he said, but pick up a song that's not in the script and learn it. And you let me know when you're ready. You got a month to rehearse.
Okay.
Figure out. So I was writing in 2 weeks. And I pick up a song, Tom Jones song. It's not unusual to have fun with anyone.
Okay.
It's not unusual to have fun. That's my favorite singer.
Yeah.
I love Tom. That's his good buddy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
You know, and he said to me he did Mars Attack with him. His hands were like big, like this, like bucket. So
Did you? This is just a camera test. Were you singing or singing along?
no, I was singing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was singing, you know, and he was concerned because if the singing and dancing is very difficult to coordinate.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a singer, I'm not a dancer either. So I did 7. He said, come and have a look. I said, let me do the other 7. I did the other 7. You're going to have a look? I did. And he says to me, so what do you think? He's asking me. I said, no, man. He said, I love it. So that's how that happened.
Got it.
And
So you got paid. You got paid 7 times as much. Smart. You got paid.
well,
for
it
each-
wasn't
you
a
get
money,
paid
but
for
they
each
look
character.
after. They look after me. They did. you
That's
know
me.
what
I was trying to
mean?
make. I was trying to make a
but
joke. I told you I'm not funny, Deep. I told you I'm not a funny guy.
No, you're not funny, but you ask weird questions.
Thanks,
No,
buddy.
I'm just kidding.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm just kidding. And so they looked after me. They did.
Actually, that is true because the amount of work that they hired you to do, you now were increasing that amount of work.
Oh yes.
Yeah. All right. So that's good. They took
Yeah,
care
you
of
know. So coming back to that story, so I did 7, and it was all systems going and everything. I met Johnny, your son Johnny. They revamped the script. So we were rehearsing, and for 1 month, and we're doing Vrook Assault. That was the first song I rehearsed, you
Okay.
know, and he the melody was great. It was like, you know, I'll tell you the story. He comes to me, and we were rehearsing for a month. He said, takes me on the side. He said, look, I got to say to you. I said, what you got to say? He said, I changed my mind. I said, regarding what? He said, you know, the Vrook Assault song that you did, the melody is going to be good on the opening song of Augustus Gloop.
Okay.
So he said, is that okay with you? I said, yeah, man, don't worry. He said, no, let's go and give the news to the choreographer. So we went to the choreographer, and her name was Francesca. So he said, Francesca, I changed my mind, and because the melody, I want him to look at more dramatic when in the opening song rather than Vrook Assault. So I've changed my mind. You got to find a new routine for Vrook Assault, and he leaves, and the choreographer threw such a big fit.
Oh wow.
Slammed the door, went to the room, and here I was standing there, and I said, okay. I went to my dressing room. I said, once she calms down, let her come.
Yeah.
You know. After 15 minutes, knocked at my trailer, my room, and she said to me, I'm sorry. I said, it's okay. She said to me, aren't you mad? I said, no.
I mean, you're still doing the dance. You're still doing the routine, just at a different part. She just needs to come up with
exactly.
another one.
I said, why should I be mad? He wants to make a movie good. That's his prerogative.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he's the director.
Yeah.
You know? And she said to me, you know, when he was leaving, and he said, put in the steps like deep likes.
Yeah.
The steps, the deep likes, you know, I want him, you know, and I've got to go back. I'll come back to this again. It took 7 fittings for my wig, the wig I was wearing.
Okay.
The guy didn't even understand what a widow's peak is.
Okay.
And he kept going, it doesn't look like deep.
Right.
The wig.
Yeah.
And he said, plus I want Hershey's Kisses. The guy doesn't know what Hershey's Kisses were at the back of the, you know.
Yeah.
So he showed him Hershey's Kisses. This is what I want. So in the end, the wig worked and everything. And it took 7 fittings to do the wig.
Mm-hmm.
So coming back to the story of dancing, he said put all the steps he likes, all that.
Mm-hmm.
So we were dancing and he said, Helena wants to come and see you. Helena bottom car. He said, is that okay? I said, yeah, man, it's okay. So Helena came and watching me do the dance. And she was laughing. She said, that's hilarious. So I asked Helena, how does Tim dance? So she said, he's weird. He does all this. So I put his moves in.
Oh, yeah.
I did all that. And,
That's awesome.
And by the way, what happened was I had like 26, 27 professional dancers. Oh, they were all ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Because he wanted to look, you know, to make sure they were like all Oompa Loompas out there.
Mm-hmm.
But they told the dancers that you're going to be in the movie. This is just for the rehearsals.
Mm-hmm.
And they were amazing dancers. And they danced in front of me, and Tim said to me, so how do you enjoy that? You're the only guy. I said, Tim, it's very hard to concentrate. They move their hips. Half the time I look at their,
What?
at their butts.
Yeah.
They're wiggling in front of me.
Uh-huh.
And I said, it's very hard to concentrate.
Yeah.
He said, but again, you did a good job. He said, you did good. So 7 Oompa Loompas turned out to be like 168 Oompa Loompas I did individually.
Oh, you.
All of them.
So they brought in these women as
Rehearsals. Yeah.
So you could see what it looked like.
Yes.
And then it's you.
Exactly.
That's amazing. So now it makes sense of why he would say you're the hardest working guy in show business, because he keeps throwing these challenges to you and you keep accepting them.
Exactly.
And,
You know, he comes to me. He said, Oompa Loompas like coca beans, so I got to have a coca bean dance, which we did. You know, and Danny Elfman comes to me. He said, you got to tell Tim to do the Bollywood song. You got to have the Bollywood rhythm, and that's what Augusta's Gloop was about.
Got it. How many songs did you do?
4. Each
Four,
song,
4 routines.
4 routines.
Wow.
Each took a month to rehearse, month to shoot.
So this is another example of something you've done right.
If my memory.
Well, no, I'm talking about the whole situation.
Oh yeah.
The way that you approached it, because I want to get some retrospective of you. What is a moment in your? I know you started as a stand-up comedian. I think maybe your first time in a movie, was it?
Peter Sellers, Pink Panther Strikes.
Pink Panther, got it. Okay, so go back to that time. And,
we're talking about 1970s.
Right. But what would you go? Did you just do everything right? Like, would you go back and give your younger self any advice to change any of the trajectory that you've been on?
The only thing I would say would be, look, showbiz is like either it's a feast or a famine.
Okay.
That's what and if it pours, it pours. If
Right.
it doesn't, it stays dry. And for me, the people are listening to this broadcast, I don't know, 165,000, that's what you said to me.
That's how I got you here. That's how I got you here.
I
Exactly
know,
right.
but then again, I thought you were talking about 165.
No, I said 165 to 1,000.
Yeah,
So right in that.
100,
Yeah, you heard
and I thought
165,000.
you were talking. I said that's a kind of a right number for me because I did 165 individual Oompa Loompas.
Yeah.
But then again, it's neither here nor there. But coming back to, look, my dad used to say to me, "Where there's a will, there's a way."
Mm-hmm.
If you can, he said, mind plays great games with you, but you got a mind and got a subconscious mind, and you got gut. That's your third mind.
Was your father strict?
No, he wasn't strict. He was a very, he was a pretty successful business person.
Okay.
He wanted me to be an accountant so
Okay.
that I can look and come and work
Yeah.
and do the books and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept failing in taxation. I'll pass taxation. I'll fail in company law.
Okay.
I was like 18, 19 years old at that time.
Living is this in Africa?
No, that was in London.
In London,
That
okay.
he sent me to London for further education.
Okay.
But before we jump to that, because I was 3 feet 8 inches tall, and he spent a lot of money on me to make me grow to 4 feet 4. And I said to my dad, I was 16 years old, I said, "Dad, you've done so much for me, I feel 6'5".
Okay.
And there's little tears in his eyes. He came, give me a hug. He said, off you go to London.
Yeah.
So I've never looked back. Height is immaterial to me.
Yeah.
I can walk into any room, anywhere I want to go. It doesn't bug me a bit.
I've seen you walk into a room before, and honestly, so you're 4'4"?
Yes, I
4 foot
think
4.
4 feet 4. In my mind, I'm 6'5".
Okay, because you walking into a room at your height is the same as someone who's 7'4" walking in. Every head turns to you. You know what I mean? And like
Yeah, but when the head turns around, they look down. I said, "Oh man, go!"
Well, I didn't say that they saw you right away, but they're like, it looks like
no,
there's
I'm not.
someone...
Just trying to humor you up, buddy.
You don't think I get it?
Yeah.
My sense of humor is drier than your sense of humor.
Well, then again, it's been a dry night so far. It's gonna rain pretty
What are you
soon.
talking about?
I'm talking about the weather.
But I was. It's like when you walked into a room. And this is before you and I had met, and it was like, whoa, deep is here, Deep Roy. Everyone's talking about you, and everyone goes over and says hi. I mean, like, because look, you walking down the street, like you go into the mall, like people know, people recognize you.
Of course they do, but then again, another funny thing about it is, I wrote something called "Nobody Knows How Little Man Feels," but I don't want to sing that, original song, which I record one day. I will, and when you walk in the street,
You wrote a song that you're not that you brought up, but you're not going to sing for us.
no, I know, but I won't do that because
Give us one line.
Well, it's called. Look, it's called "Nobody Knows How Little Man Feels."
Okay.
You
You can keep talking about it,
Yeah,
but
I know.
until you sing it, I'm not going to understand what you're trying to say.
Well,
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. All right, I sang. Now it's your turn.
no, man. So
I think I almost got you.
yeah, I know.
I think I
you
almost got you. What's one line in it though?
did. It's called. Wow. It's called little wherever I go. That's all I hear.
Mm-hmm.
I know people don't mean to be hurtful, but I shouldn't take like this.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I like to forget that I'm little. And then I start.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah,
That's deep.
there you go.
That's deep.
That's very deep.
It is
thoughts.
very deep. Those are deep thoughts by Deep Roy.
So that's it. I'll cut on that,
Mm-hmm.
and I recite that, and I want some people to be putting some voices.
Is that how
and
you
some-
really feel?
No, I feel like a giant. I do.
You don't care when people talk about your height. Everyone has questions about your height. You
Of
know,
course
I mean
they
that's
do.
the thing. Yeah.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
But then again, look, whether you're tall, small, fat, good looking.
Well, I mean, you said fat. Why did you look at me?
But I thought you were on a diet. That's the reason you
I told
should
you I
be.
was I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight.
That's what you said to me.
I
But
said,
then
but
again,
I'm not.
but
Not-
then
not
again,
yet.
but it's not about the looks. It's not about what it's about what's here
Mm-hmm.
and up there. Look, success can't be measured. It's the respect that counts.
Okay.
And I'll say you why. Because success to me is different to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Your mind says more, your heart says no.
Okay.
It's about contentment.
Yeah.
And I'm so content, and I am.
Yeah. Am I gonna get? So I keep trying to find out something that you would advice you would give to your younger self to change anything on your trajectory. Is there any point in your life that you would go back and say do something different? Professional, personal, it doesn't matter.
No, I wouldn't do, because I'll tell you why. Because why change when you're happy?
I agree.
Why change?
I agree. Because look, everything that you've done has led to here. You're one of only 2 actors that have been in both Star Trek and Star Wars. It's you and Simon Pegg.
And Doctor Who.
And Doctor Who. Meaning what? You were in all those. So you're the
And Simon Pegg
and
did.
Simon as well.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Because he said to me, we are the only ones. I said, well, I got one above you because I also did a show called in London, another sci-fi thing.
Yeah.
And which he didn't do because he knew what it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was a BBC TV show, another one, one of those things.
Tyler, I was going to say it earlier, was watching Flash Gordon. What?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. What made you watch that? But you were in Flash Gordon.
Yes, that was 1979. There we go again. Freaking hell.
Hey, man, you're still cracking.
What did you say? I'm still on a crack. What?
You're still cracking.
Cracker.
You're still on.
I
crack.
thought you were still. I thought you. Oh, he's laughing.
I called you a cracker.
Yeah.
You're still hanging out with crackers, so it's pretty good.
Well,
Do you think that because of your size, you're aging more slowly? Because
it's in my genes because I keep wearing right jeans.
you do wear the right jeans.
That's what it's all about.
You're very punny.
Well, thank you so much. I thought you were the comedian.
Yeah, no, you're punny. I'm funny.
Oh, you're funny. Okay.
Yeah. You're punny. What? So because you have a lot of energy for someone 84 years old, and I don't think people realize. See.
Get your math right, buddy.
I know, but it's a joke. It's a joke. You and I are sitting here explaining our jokes to each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Age is just numbers. Keep saying that to you.
That's not. People say
it's
that.
It's just playing like bingo. Bingo.
Yeah.
Your time has to come and go.
Okay, that's fine. I agree with that.
Yeah.
When your number's up, your number's up. But I'm saying like you're 66. We could sit here and is that right?
No, I'm 75.
No, stop it.
I am.
What does it say on Wikipedia? Does it say the wrong age in places?
Well, I think it's correct. It's 1957, but it's 1949. I've given my age away now. All the ladies are going to say, freaking old hag.
Wait, okay, time out.
Grow your mustache.
Because we were trying to do the math and figure out what it was. So that's what it is. Are you kidding me? So yes, you are you have more energy than there's people that are 75 years old that have given up. You know what I mean?
Never give up because the age is just numbers. The reason is
I
because...
appreciate that I think to a lot, it's true. It's true that it's just numbers until you're 75 years old and you hurt too much to get out of bed. You know what I mean?
Well, it still hurts that because the bed is too freaking high. I could say, so let's start doing stunts again?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I think...
But about the age thing, that's your real age? 75?
Yes, I am.
Good. That's incredible. Because I thought you were 66, and I thought you looked great for 66.
Well, you're talking about 66 route, man.
Oh, I'm talking about the road.
Yeah.
I've lost it. I love it.
You lost it a long time ago, buddy.
This is perfect. This is perfect. And what's on? Okay, so again, why would you change this life? Why would you change these things? You've been part of. I was gonna do the math. You know, when they ever say like somebody like Johnny Depp, if you take all of his box offices, they equal like $4 million, whatever it is, you know?
Yeah.
And like if you take all of your box offices for the movies that you've been in,
Yeah.
it's a similar thing. You've been in such significant, profound movies that have affected people's lives, you know? Like Neverending Story for one of those, for example.
Yes.
Star Wars, Star Trek. And you were in Star Wars, you played 7 characters?
Yeah, I played the walking Yoda.
Okay.
Frank Oz was the
voice,
yeah.
Uh-huh.
But I did some, puppeteering as well too, and they were amazing, I did Dark Crystal with them.
You were one of the people in the band?
Yes,
Okay.
Droopy McCall.
Okay.
I did that,
Okay.
and then I did also. I used to do stunts at that time, I
Okay.
used to, and when I did Ewoks, but I was a Ewok with a smoking pipe.
Oh, yeah, got it.
So that's the reason my height got
It's stunted?
stunt. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's what my height was stunts.
What did your dad do to help you grow from 3'8" to 4'4"?
Because I took medicine and injections
Got
at
it.
that time.
And
you
it
know.
so and it worked?
Of course it did.
Yeah.
Put 6 inches on me, man.
Yeah, I know, but 3'8" still cool, right?
Everything is cool.
Yeah, it is.
But that's what I said to my dad.
Yeah.
Because my dad was worried, man, please, give me 4'9", 4'8", 4'10". I said, Dad, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, I mean, look, Danny DeVito is 4'9".
Yeah.
He's funny.
Think about how much younger you would look if you were 3'8". Because the shorter you are, the slower you age. This is not science. I'm just making this up. However, it's possible that you're going to live to be 150 years old.
God bless you. But then again,
If you want to.
But I want to live happily. I don't want to be a burden on anyone.
Yeah.
I want to walk and talk, and I don't want to be bedridden and all that.
Yeah.
What kind of life is that?
Yeah,
then,
I agree.
But then again, I want to go smiling.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I kick the bucket, I want everybody to celebrate.
Yeah. Thank God he's dead. No?
And that too. Thank God he bites
Thank
the
God
dust.
he was such a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Well, no pain in the neck.
Yeah.
Ass is like 2 down.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, too far down.
Yeah.
Rather that. Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
Pain in the neck.
Yeah.
But if you want a pain in the ass, pain is a pain.
A pain's a pain. A pain's
Yeah.
a pain.
Yeah.
Well, look, how we at time wise? We're good, right? We're pretty good. I feel like we only just kind of scratched the surface here, because again, you don't do a lot of podcasts, and you have a lot to say and a lot of stories.
Oh, of course I do. You brought up that Flash Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
That was 1979. And Sam Jones, I just saw him on last Comic Cons I did.
Okay.
And, the reason Sam didn't work because he had attitude. He was like prima donna. You don't do that.
Yeah.
I guess that's the reason, because I mustn't say, because maybe he's listening to this podcast.
He doesn't listen to this podcast.
But even if it is,
yeah.
but that's what he said to me. He said to me he's changed a lot.
Yeah.
That's what he said to me. I said, I didn't say about time. I didn't want to say that, but
Yeah.
I said to him, good for you.
Yeah. You know what that is, and we both have seen this, and I firmly believe that to be in the entertainment business, no one deserves it. When people start to think that they deserve to be there is when they start to get those kinds of attitudes. No one deserves it. We're all lucky to be able to work. Now, look, you need to be taken care of and compensated and all that kind of stuff aside. It's just that for someone to think, I'm so talented, I deserve it. Like, you know how many talented people are out here?
Of course there are.
How much of it is just is luck, being in the right place, right time, hard work, talent, all those things. But this is a world that we live in full of talented people. And when people are talented but fun to work with, I think those are the people that maybe continue on.
You're absolutely right. There's so many talented people, and I'm one of the luckiest guy. I'm not saying, what's a talent?
Yeah.
A talent is no good in the movies. if you done a good take, it'll be finished with the cutting room.
Yeah.
It'll be down on the floor.
Yeah.
Talent comes in the theaters. Live. There's no retakes, nothing.
Yeah.
Live theater, which I've done.
Yeah.
And that's where the talent is. It is.
Yeah.
You know, to project your voice that people at the back can hear as well.
I'm so excited to see what you have in store for the next 75 years.
God bless you. But then again, one who knows what's going to happen tomorrow.
Hey.
Look, you know what they say? Yesterday is gone.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is not here.
Yeah.
Live the day.
That's always the way it is. But I'll tell you what, you will live on forever through the work you've done.
Well, I thank you for that compliment. You know, I'm deeply honored that you think so highly of me, and thank you for that.
My pleasure. I'm going to end by saying, yo, that's deep. Is that?
Yeah, that's a deep thought.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My pleasure.